Her city, asleep like a baby, is bathed in the neon twinkling glow of skyscrapers and the humming of far-off traffic sound. Ben, our seasoned delivery driver with a knack for nocturnal runs, is smoothly going through the abandoned streets. His motorcycle is purring, almost like a happy cat. He's fond of the quiet life, the low-key vibes, and just the whole being the only soul in the city that's wide awake while everything else is fast asleep. For tonight's delivery, though, it ain't about tranquility. The scrawled-on, crumpled piece of paper had the address, written in a chilling blood-red ink that takes him to an old falling-apart amusement park at the city's edges. Towering above, rusted roller coasters resemble skeletal fingers against the sky, the Ferris wheel silently stuck in its screams. Ignoring the very real gut-churning feelings of unease, Ben parked his bike, the quiet disturbed by a drip-drop rhythm of rain sprinkles. Following the note's cryptic instructions, he dives deeper into the amusement park, the sneaky shadows playing visual tricks on his tired eyes. He makes it to a boarded-up funhouse, a gargoyle above the entrance grinning like a maniac. The note be promised a handsome tip, enough dough to fix his sputtering tired bike. Greedy instincts, caution takes a backseat. Ben, always been a realist, pushes open the creaky and dusty door. Dust danced in the weak and cold moonlight seeping through the cracks in the boarded-up windows, casting chilling shadows on the warped mirrors of distorted figures. The air turned heavy and suffocating with the familiar smell of dampness and an odd metallic whiff. A disembodied giggle echoes in the darkness, eerily shadowed by some shuffle sounds, clearly shoes scraping the floor. The adrenaline pumped hard in Ben's veins, his heart trying to hammer out of his ribcage. Turning the corner, he's met with a living nightmare, a clown with a decaying face smeared with color, popping out from the darkness, its eyes burning with malicious light. The clown's dreadful laughter is now sounding like souls being tortured in the pits of hell. Panic was grabbing hold of poor Ben now, but thanks to years of delivering packages at odd hours, his survival game is strong. Recalling a childish prank to distract bullies, he brings out his phone. Activating the flashlight app and holding it to his chest create an illusion of a glowing heart. The sudden appearance of light startled the clown, making it hiss like a street cat. As per the legends, these monsters fed on fear, and Ben almost found himself feeling a little braver. With a newfound will, Ben charged ahead, phone light held high, pretending it to be a beacon. The clown tried to grab him but missed, and Ben used the surroundings to his advantage, leading the creepy thing through a winding maze of the funhouse's corridors. He was literally running in circles, but soon, every coffee has to brew. Finally, he forced the clown into a room crammed with broken mirrors. Seeing his chance, Ben used the phone light in the most significant mirror's direction. The reflection threw the monstrous image of the clown onto it, and boy did it scream. It shrieked like a banshee and twisted in horror at the sight of its own terrifying reflection. With an ear-bursting wail like a banshee, clown up and vanished, leaving behind just a smell that reminds him of ozone and the deathly silence of the park again. Body shaking, heart-thumping victory cheers, Ben stumbled out of there. He had faced the monster and came out alive, scarred, but alive. The next morning brought news of a fire that burnt down the funhouse and was concluded as an accident. But Ben, he knew the truth. It was the last ever delivery he made, not a packet of food, but he delivered a crude serving of fear. Marked by the living nightmare he faced, he was forever connected to that night he named the last delivery. The apartment building's fluorescent lighting was dully flickering in a spooky way when Max, who is a seasoned food delivery cyclist, trudged into the rusty elevator. It's old and stuff, and he pressed the button for floor number 12, an action he'd done like countless times in the past. The doors slid shut with a rather mechanical hum, and Max got trapped in a metal box that was too stuffy. Starting its climb, Max suddenly felt an abrupt jerk, followed by an outright silence that's just too creepy. Lights dimmed for a bit before totally snuffing out. Darkness swallowed him up. His chest was filled with panic as he fumbled, looking for his cell phone. Weak flashlight was the only thing that lit the close quarters. "Hurry up, come on," somewhat muttered Max as he nervously kept hitting the emergency button. But it didn't do anything. Elevator remained stuck mid-air. Max felt with an alarming certainty that he couldn't get out. Time it painfully dragged on with Max stuck in the darkness that was slowly choking him. His mind was having a field day with irrational, scary thoughts. Weird whispers, distorted and from another realm, started echoing down the shaft. His overactive imagination, or was it real horror lurking somewhere? Elevator out of nowhere shuddered and rumbled back to action. Max collided with the wall as a result. With a groaning protest, it started the descent, going further down into the depths of the building. Max's heartbeat was echoing in his chest as he saw the floors flying past him, each coming across as darker and scarier than the previous one. The elevator suddenly jammed again, throwing Max off his feet. The doors creak open, revealing a sight directly out of his worst nightmares. The passageway outside was glowing in an eerie red, casting dancing, lengthened shadows, weird, twisted. Max, he was reluctant to leap ahead, every fiber in his body egging him to turn around and run. Yet he found himself frozen on spot. That's when an earthy, gruff growl emanated from the impending darkness. Max knew he should have run, but there were no escape routes visible. Just as he took a paralyzing blow from fear, a pair of illuminated eyes emerged from the dark, locking onto Max with a relentless desire. With a loud shriek, Max turned around and sprinted back into the elevator, closing the doors behind him hard. The journey back on the surface seemed like forever, each passing second tainted with dread and anxiety. When elevator finally arrived halt and the doors parted, Max stumbled into the lobby, his muscles shaking with adrenaline. As he emerged onto the road, he still had this sensation that something dark from the elevator came out after him, a creature old and malevolent. And as he was riding away into the dark night, he was sure his life wouldn't be same anymore.